Thousands of people from Afghanistan and Cameroon face the risk of deportation tonight. It comes after an appeals court ruled the Trump administration can end a program that grants temporary protections and work permits. Immigration advocacy group CASA sued the Department of Homeland Security after it announced back in May that they were ending the program. The judge in the case has allowed the lawsuit to go forward, but did not grant the request for protections to remain in place. CBS News immigration and political reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez has been reporting on this story, and he joins us now to explain. So, Camilo, how many migrants does this affect from Afghanistan and Cameroon?
Well, Jerica, roughly 8,100 Afghans and about 5,000 immigrants from Cameroon are now losing their temporary protected status. That means that they will become illegally present in the U.S., will lose their ability to work in the U.S. lawfully, and could potentially be at risk of deportation to their home countries or to a third country, because the Trump administration has also been asking countries around the world, as you know, to take back people who are not their citizens. Now they face that threat of deportation. And this is part of a broader effort by the administration to dramatically expand, Jerica, the pool of people who are eligible for deportation by ending these humanitarian programs. The administration has also moved to dismantle TPS programs for people from Venezuela, Haiti, Nepal, Honduras, and Nicaragua. So this is part of that larger effort.
Yeah, it's sort of a shock to the system for people who thought that they had that protection, at least as they continue to go through the process. I want to turn to some video that was recently released. The New York Immigration Coalition, they released video from an ICE processing center in the city, and it highlights the poor conditions that migrants are subject to there. What is ICE saying about the conditions there, which we're seeing now on video, and other facilities?
Sure. Just to level set, Jerica, this is a temporary holding center in New York City that ICE says is not a long-term detention center, and thus it argues that it is not subject to congressional oversight, and thus some lawmakers have actually been blocked from inspecting that facility. But we have seen internal government data that indicate that some people, including the ones you see there, have been held there for days, as many as 8 days, which is not supposed to happen. And those detainees who have been released or who have been able to talk to relatives have reported substandard and poor conditions, including a lack of access to water in some cases and food, unsanitary conditions, crowded conditions, and also having to sleep on the floor as well.
I also want to get at this death of a 55-year-old migrant from Vietnam over the weekend, and this marks the 14th detainee that has died while in agency custody in 2025. How does that compare to previous years?
Well, in fiscal year 2024, 12 people died in ICE custody. That tally has now been surpassed, and there are about 2 months left in the fiscal year. So that is something that is concerning advocates and lawyers who say that part of the reason for this uptick in the number of people dying in ICE custody is this broader increase in ICE detaining people across the country as the Trump administration tries to expand that mass deportation campaign.
All right, Camilo Montoya-Galvez staying on top of it for us. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jerica.
Thank you.